Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I came across some interesting clips from TikTok that are talking about what I would like to call the difference between Black Americans, Black Africans, and Black Caribbeans. Now the first clip is a bit noisy, I won't lie, but if you listen closely, there's a powerful conversation happening between an African brother and a Black American brother. The African brother is really dropping some knowledge. He's breaking down what he believes makes Black Americans different from other black people around the world. So according to him, God has been protecting and protesting Black Americans because they are the true Israelite. He goes on to say that palm color people have kept this truth hidden, and he says that Black Americans come from the tribe of Judah, while Black Africans come from the descendants of Ham. He even goes as far as saying the scar structure between Black Americans and Black Africans is different. Now that's just one clip, and trust me, there's more. There are more two clips. The other one is longer. This video is packed with clips touching on Black identity from different angles. I'm about to play them for you guys shortly, so make sure you pay attention and drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll come back at the end of this video to give my own 2 cents. Let's watch this.
God is protecting you guys. When 400 years come, it's going to take you guys back to where you guys belong.
So you are African?
Yes.
So we're not Africans over here, is what you're saying?
No, you guys are Africans too, but you're the true Hebrewites.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we ran into Africa. We ran into Africa, but we're not Africans.
Yes, you guys were put on the shores of Africa.
Right.
When these white people came, they took you guys.
How do you know that? How do you know about
We are
that?
taught that. History in Africa, they teach you from zero.
Wait a minute, they taught you that in Africa?
Yes. Here they don't teach you. They teach you white way they want you guys to know.
So the whole time, our people over here thinking they're Africans, and we're not Africans.
You are true Israelites.
Oh, okay. So y'all know that over there now?
Yes, we do. That's why you see, if I take your skull and my skull, they're different. But we get the same skin.
Oh, okay. So you come from Ham. Who's your forefather?
South Africa. Yeah.
Ham.
You guys from Judah, right?
Right, I'm from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
Right.
African Americans and Africans in the Caribbean, or Africans anywhere in the diaspora, we need to understand that we have an identity crisis. We need to know who we are. Who are we? It is a question we must answer. It is a question of who do we teach our children their ancestors are, and what is our true nationality, our ethnicity, our identity. National identity and our ethnicity is not about religion. Identity is one's generations, one's roots, and national identification. National identity is exactly, specifically, and precisely the questions that Black folks or Africans must seek to answer. In order to truly understand what identity is, you must have an identity. One must live and be who or he or she is. Overwhelmingly, all evidence points former slaves to history connected with the Bible. The world is inundated with facts which prove the true heritage of former African slaves transported to the Americas, that they are none other than Israelites in ancient biblical history.
Black Africans and Black Caribbeans and Black Americans are different. Black Africans and Black Caribbeans are closer, almost identical. They have high, and I'm generalizing now, but generalization is pretty accurate. They have high self-esteem and lower levels of confidence. Black Americans have higher levels of confidence and lower levels of self-esteem. Because of slavery lasted here longer, it was turned into a business, and it was an intentional desire to destroy your spirit, because if they had this black man here, coming here with all that build and all that brawn from, by the way, they say they went to Africa, oh, we're dumb, we're stupid. Knock that off. 1500s was an agricultural age. The wealthiest gold in America, in the world, were cotton crops and sugar crops and tobacco crops, which are in areas which were very humid, very hot, and the soil was almost dead. Who could master dead soil? Africans. So they went halfway around the world to find the geniuses of the soil. They brought us halfway around the world because we could build wealth for them and income. But they didn't need this brother's attitude. They needed his body. So they separated from his family so he had no hope. They abused his wife and held him down so he couldn't protect her until he gave up his self-esteem. And now he's just machinery. So now, 400 years later, we never healed. So if I don't like me, I'm not going to like you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And here's the big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Whatever goes around, comes around. So we have high confidence, Jerome, because we've competed and succeeded against all odds in the biggest economy on the planet. So we have high confidence because we're competent, but we have low self-esteem, which is why you have crab in the barrel. It's why somebody's sitting there going, what is he talking about? My life? Why would anybody have anything with something positive to say right now? So if you got a problem with me, you need to check yourself. I don't even know you. So, as Quincy Jones once said, not 1 ounce of my self-esteem depends on your acceptance of me. So it's okay if you don't like me, I like me. Now, black African, y'all, come on now, we having church in here. Now, black Africans and Caribbeans experience slavery for a shorter period of time, and they experience family structure and role modeling for a longer period of time. The mayor was black. The governor was black. The premier was black. The dentist was black. The barber was black. The thief was black. Everybody was black. Together families. So they have higher self-esteem, but they have lower confidence because they didn't succeed in a market economy. It makes perfect sense. So that's why when black Africans or Caribbeans come here, within 2 or 3 years, they're killing it. Yet the Ethiopians in Washington, D.C., they're at the Park Hyatt, parking the cars. Within a couple of days, they've hired the buddies to be valets. Within a few weeks, they're also the taxi drivers. Within a couple of months, they put the money in for an Uber car. Now they got a black car. Now they got 3 black cars. Now they live together. Now they have their entire staff at the front of the lobby. They have the valets. They got the taxi. They got the Ubers. They're willing to rent you an apartment if you want one. I mean, but that's because the hustle was the only ingredient that they missed. The opportunity. Black people, black Americans are the role models for the world. But we've got a little bit confused because we think that's enough. We're also depressed. I think that 70% of black Americans clinically undiagnosed depressed. And I can't prove that number. I love number. I can't prove that one. Whenever I talk to somebody, our people in a real conversation, can I get an amen? So when we're having a real conversation, we just have to heal so we can deal. Now, if we can heal, which is real wealth, and heal ourselves and love ourselves, now we can have a relationship. Now, in a relationship, it's the only time where it should be multiplication and not math. So if a relationship, if 2 + 2 does not equal 6, 8, or 10, what are you doing? If you're not better together, what are you doing? When you go to the club tonight, what's tonight? Tonight's Saturday. When you go to the club tonight, what's tonight? Friday. Entrepreneurs, we work 18 hours, they keep getting a job. We can work 18 hours and we have a nap for 3 hours, for 6 hours, that's it. So yeah, I don't know what day it is. You go to the club tonight? Oh man, she's fine. Oh, he's so handsome. What's your name? Oh, what's your credit score? And I'm only partially joking. After the looks fall away and the body falls away, that's your business partner for life. 2 + 2 should equal 6, 8, or 10. If you're not better together, what are you doing? So this thing we're talking about is about self-esteem is the entire ball game. If we can't fix this, we're done. No one else can hurt us, will hurt us. If we can fix this, I believe we will and we are. No one can stop us.
And there you have it, family. So you've just watched a clips of, you've just watched a series of clips that are talking about the deep dive into the topic of identity, not just black identity as a whole, but specifically the difference between black Americans, black Africans, and black Caribbeans. I'm sure this is not in details, so this is just, let's just say, a scratch of it. Now, earlier I broke down on one clip where an African brother was speaking to a black American brother, claiming, talking about Americans, black Americans, that they are the true Israelites from the tribe of Judah, and that God has been protecting and protesting them from them throughout history. He said palm color people system have done everything they can to hide this truth, and even went as far as mentioning that the scar structure between black Americans and black Africans are different. So whether or not you agree, the point is that this conversation has layers to it. That's what I can say. Now let's zoom out a little, because this isn't just about genetics or physical features. It's about history, experience, and how that history shapes culture and mindset. Let's start with black Americans. So descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, born into a system that was built on their labor, but designed to keep them at the bottom, from slavery to Jim Crow, red line to mass incarcerations. Black Americans have carried the weight of systemic oppression for generations, but out of that came something powerful, a unique culture identity that shaped global music, art, language, resistance, and style. Black Americans created blues, jazz, hip hop, forms of expression that told their story and shook the world. Then we have black Africans, people still living on the continent whose history includes colonization, but not chattel slavery into the same way. Their connection to land, language, and tribal roots often runs deep, though that connection has also been changed by European interference and civil conflicts. What's interesting is that Africans see themselves first by their ethnic group, Igbo, Zulu, Yoruba, Ashanti, before they see themselves as black. The term black itself often gains more weight when they leave the continent and are forced to confront how the rest of the world sees them. Then, of course, we've got the Black Caribbeans, descendants of both African slaves and colonized indigenous populations. Their story is a complex mix of African roots, European colonization, and Caribbean resilience. Think about how places like Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, and Barbados each have their own distinct dialects, food, music, and revolutionary history. Haiti, for example, was the first black republic to gain independence, defeating Napoleon's army in the process. That spirit of rebellion and pride runs deep across the Caribbean diaspora. So when we talk about differences between these groups, we're not just talking skin tone or scar shape. We're talking about survival through different systems, different forms of resilience, different histories of oppressions and empowerment. But here's the real point I want to make. Yes, there are differences, and it's okay to acknowledge them, but those differences don't have to divide us. In fact, understanding them can actually help bring us closer together, because at the end of the day, we all come from a people who were scattered, enslaved, colonized, and forced to forget who they are. But look at us now, reclaiming, reconnecting, reimaging. But then again, I know some of the things said in the clips might have rubbed people the wrong way. I get it. Some of the views were strong and controversial, but what I appreciate is that people are starting to ask questions. They're trying to piece together the truth, not just what we were taught in school or fed by mainstream media. This conversation between the African brother and the Black American brother is just one of the many happening all over the world right now, and we need more of it, more dialogue, more listening, more unlearning and relearning, because no matter where you fall, whether you're from Brooklyn, Lagos, or Kingston, there is power in knowing where you come from, but even more powerful in knowing where we can go together. So let's keep the conversation going, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree with the idea that Black Americans are the true Israelite? Do you think there's a real difference between the identities and the experiences of Black Caribbeans, Africans, and Americans? Or do you feel like the difference have been exaggerated and used to divide us? Whatever your take is, this platform is here for honesty and the conversation. No judgment, just moving forward and growth. I'll be reading through the comments and replying to as many as I can. I'll also be putting together a follow-up video soon where I'll go deeper into some of the history behind these claims, from biblical origins to the transatlantic slave. I don't know why I've got a problem pronouncing that word. Slave trade to modern day Pan-Africanism. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. Yeah. And if this video sparked something in you, confusion, pride, frustration, curiosity, well, that's good. That's the beginning. That means you're thinking, that means you're questioning, and that's where the truth begins from. And as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching up to this end. I know it's not easy watching videos. Yeah, I'll definitely see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful.